Hello YouTube again. This time I'm gonna talk about the career of Tracy McGrady, T-Mac. And, well, he played in the NBA from 1997 to 2012. Played for the Toronto Raptors, Orlando Magic, Houston Rockets, New York Knicks, Detroit Pistons, Atlanta Hawks, and the San Antonio Spurs. So, Tracy McGrady's career. He came right out of high school, 97. First couple of seasons he didn't get a lot of playing time, 18 and 22 minutes per game. Then in his third season, he was drafted by the Toronto Raptors, so he spent his first 3 seasons in Toronto. And his third season, last in Toronto, he started 34 games, averaged 15 points and nearly 2 blocks. So he was a really athletic, but he was in the shadow of his cousin Vince Carter, and wanted to have his own team. And so he signed with the Orlando Magic. He's from Florida, so it was his home team basically. And he won the most improved player award in 2001 season. He won two scoring titles with the Orlando Magic in 2002-2003 season and 2003-2004 season. He was an all-star in every season with the Magic. He was supposed to be a 1-2 punch with Grant Hill, but Grant Hill was never healthy with T-Mac for a long period of time. And T-Mac wanted out from Orlando, said that he didn't have enough help, which is kind of ironic because he wanted to have his own team in Orlando. He could have stayed in Toronto with Vince Carter and be a 1-2 punch with his distant cousin. Anyway, in Houston, 2004-2005 was his first season there. They won 52 games, I think. He had a big man, basically for the first time in his career, a really good big man in Yao Ming. Second season with the Houston Rockets, injuries to T-Mac and Yao Ming, they missed the playoffs. 06, 07, 07 and 08 made the playoffs, but Yao Ming, I think, missed both playoffs, so they didn't get out from the first round. 08, 09 season, T-Mac played only 35 games and then had a microfracture knee surgery and missed the rest of the season. That was the year that Houston Rockets made it to the was it the Western Conference Finals or semifinals? I don't remember correctly, but it was either the semifinals or the conference finals, with Yao Ming and Ron Artest leading the way. Then 2009-2010 season, he played 6 games for the Houston Rockets, only averaged 7.7 minutes per game, and then he was traded to the New York Knicks, where he played the rest of the season there, 24 games, 26 minutes per game. Then he signed with the Detroit Pistons, and after that 1 season with the Pistons, he played for the Atlanta Hawks. Tracy McGrady only got out of first round of the playoffs 1 time, and it was his last season with the San Antonio Spurs, when he was basically just a 12th, 13th guy off the bench. So that I think that is one of the main reasons why some people don't include Tracy McGrady to the greatest players of all time, top 10, top 15 at this position because he didn't get out of the first round. That one of the reasons. What else? He was a multiple All-Star. I think he had a good career for I think the last season in Toronto to 2007-2008 season to Houston Rockets. From that span, he was one of the best players in the NBA. I think from 2001 season to 2004-2005 season, he and Kobe were neck and neck. But after that, injuries and maybe lack of motivation. Jeff Van Gundy, his former coach in Houston Rockets, said that T-Mac didn't work out really hard, and at some point that will show when you start to lose your athletic ability. Other than the microfracture surgery he had on his knee, he always had a bad back, basically a chronic back pain and shoulder problems as well. In Toronto, I wish he would have stayed in Toronto and be a first or second option with the Raptors with Vince Carter. It would have been a really exciting duo, and maybe Vince Carter wouldn't have to have asked a trade. He wouldn't have wanted out of Toronto if he had Tracy McGrady on his side. But anyway, he did perform really well in the playoffs. With the Orlando Magic, he averaged in the playoffs 32 points, 6.5 rebounds, 6 assists, 1.5 steals, 1.2 blocks. With the Houston Rockets, 27.7 points per game, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. With Atlanta, one season, 4 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. With the Spurs, he didn't score a basket. And Toronto, the last season with Toronto, he averaged nearly 17 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block in the playoffs against the New York Knicks. But it's kind of what if with Tracy McGrady. What if he would have stayed in Toronto? What if Grant Hill was healthy when T-Mac was in Orlando? What if he didn't have that back pain? What if he didn't have to have that microfracture knee surgery? But once again, I think players like T-Mac, Gilbert Arenas, they just can't overcome their injuries. But somebody like Kobe, even though he's now been injured a lot in these couple past seasons, but he did play quite well this season, even though he didn't shoot the ball well or wasn't a great defender. But anyway, when I saw T-Mac with Detroit and Atlanta, I wish he could. I always thought that he could be more aggressive, but I think he wanted to be a team player. Something I don't Kobe would ever do. That be satisfied with playing 22 minutes and attempting like 6 or 7 shots per ball game. After his playing NBA career, he played 1 season in China and put up big numbers there. And then he played some minor league baseball, I think. and he was considering a comeback, but I don't think any team wants him anymore, which is a shame. But Father Time is unbeaten, and it always will be. But that's my thoughts on Tracy McGrady's career. You know, he was a really athletic as a young player, a really good shooter with the Magic, and even in Houston, one of the most exciting players to play that I have seen, and early in 2000s, one of the best players in the league. What's your thoughts on Tracy McGrady's career? Comment down below and have a good day. And watch some Tracy McGrady highlights from YouTube. Bye.